Hey.
Hmm?
Oh, sorry. Moonfall.
Howdy ho, and welcome to an all-new episode of I Start!
Okay.
Get
Real.
I'm Hot Toddy, this is Miss Pengrino, and on this episode of Get Real, we're going to talk about a movie that's been out for a little while now. We saw it a little while back, and we have major differing opinions on this film. If this was played out, it would be game off for me.
And game on for me.
But we'll get more into that here in just a minute. We're talking about the new Roland Emmerich film, Moonfall. Miss Pengrino, I'd regrettably ask, what did you think of Moonfall?
So I enjoyed it. I do think it was a enjoyable film. Again, not really a type of film that I like because I'm a comedy person through and through. But I did enjoy it. It was the first kind of like Independence Day type movie that I have liked in a long time.
And therein lies the problem, Miss Pengrino. Moonfall it was done by schlock auteur Roland Emmerich, who is responsible for some of the most overrated disaster movies to ever hit the big screen. I like the guy. I like him enough, I guess. But his movies are, just like I said, over the top. They're extremely over the top. Independence Day was the height. It was the climax of his career. Ever since then, it's just been weird. Like the Day After Tomorrow, 2012, White House Down. These are just films that
Again,
are just...
I haven't seen any of these.
I've seen... Actually, I've seen... Independence Day 1. I've not seen its crappy sequel, Resurgence. I refuse to see it.
That shit was ass.
I've seen Day After Tomorrow and I've seen 2012, and none of these films, other than Independence Day. Independence Day was one of those movies that you loved as a kid. Because I used to watch it all the time as a kid. Loved it from beginning to end, but then as I got older, I realized,
that shit was ass.
This movie's kind of dog poopy. It's not. It's not the greatest film.
Kinda dog poopy.
It's not as great as you think it. It's not as great as you remember it when you go back and revisit it as an adult, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And then every other movie that he's made since then, I'm sorry, it's just not. It's not doing it for me. And he's also known for, I will say, a positive right off the bat. In the last 20 or so years in his movies, he's done something very nice, I think, in that he's brought in actors and actresses who've kind of hit their peak, who are just past their prime, and bring them in and make them the star of the film. He did it for Dennis Quaid in Day After Tomorrow, John Cusack in 2012, Jamie Foxx in White House Down. I know Jamie Foxx is still pretty big, but by that time, when that movie came out, he was kind of forgettable at that point. And then Halle Berry in this movie.
Right.
So,
Right.
I swear, you're getting more southern by the day. Now, she's from Louisiana. As we have discussed, she is from this planet. But they don't got the southern twang down there. And then, but here recently, she's been saying right. Now. No, it's been real bad.
I started working at a new store. They're a little bit extra.
You just started.
I adapt quickly.
So you wouldn't survive in an invasion of the body snatchers type situation.
I mean, because I adapt quickly, I would survive better, right?
Anyway, back to the shitty movie.
Let's say what the shitty movie is about first.
Okay, so the movie
Premise.
this is Roland Emmerich, I think, flying too close to the sun. Okay, his first movie was not his first movie. This was his second or third movie, as we learned, courtesy of Mystery Science Theater 3000 Live.
Yep.
He did a little piece of magic called Making Contact. It was also known by Joey in Germany, because Roland Emmerich's from Germany. So it was called Joey, and
Why was it called Joey?
because that was the kid's name in the movie, Joey.
Oh, that's right.
But here in America, it was called Making Contact, and it was Roland Emmerich's first film. And incidentally, it was his best film. Okay, I liked it
Pretty
more.
bad. Good bad film.
Good bad film.
Yeah,
it was so bad it's good, and that's the problem with Roland Emmerich. If you're bad, that's the problem with this guy.
Bad, it's good.
If your best film is a bad B movie that you started out with at the beginning of your career,
Not good.
and your list of accomplishments include Independence Day, that's a problem. But anyway, most of his movies, so like Independence Day deals with an alien invasion.
Right.
And then the majority of his movies after that involved natural disasters, insane natural disasters. Day After Tomorrow, because of climate change, the movie deals with climate change because of climate change got so... I'm a little bit... Because climate change got so extreme, we fell into the second ice age. 2012, this movie came out in 2012 came out in 2009, but it was based on the fear that was real, that we all thought that the world was going to end in 2012. You remember that?
The Mayans believed time itself began August 11th, 3114 BC. Their long count calendar, which measures millennia, ends on the winter solstice this year, December 21st, 2012. Ancient prophecy meets modern anxieties.
But 2012 dealt with that big scare that we had in December of 2012, where we thought the Mayan calendar was going to come true. And of course, in the movie, it does.
Right.
Natural disaster. This film, Moonfall, is a combination
Of the two.
of his two ideas.
Yeah.
Aliens taking over one of the most important objects of the Earth and thereby causing a natural disaster.
Yeah.
And it sucks. I'm sorry. I don't like it.
Well, and the aliens, I guess, spoiler.
You know what? Let's just go for it. Spoiler alert. Spoilers.
Spoiler. So
What happens in the movie, Miss Pengrino?
the aliens actually turn out to be humans. They're just humans from a previous Earth planet.
And it's the most bizarre thing.
And it's not them doing the damage. It's the AI that they created who became what we fear today is that AI is going to take over.
And that's basically...
And it did on that planet.
And that's one of those underlying messages that movies
Yeah.
give, is that the AI could one day take over. I don't know why that's a scare right now, because Russia and Ukraine are at war. We have COVID. We have
AI can...
politicians going insane in our own country. I don't think we
get
have to
it.
worry about AI right now.
Hello, calories. It is nice to meet you.
But that's the point, is that the AI is attacking the moon, which is
Because it became
which
self-harming.
harvests these former humans from another planet. And so, because
Well, they're remnants.
they're remnants, whatever. But anyway, the AI is attacking the moon to try to kill them, and thereby the moon is falling out of orbit, and it's falling to Earth, and it's killing people by causing natural disasters. I'm done with Roland Emmerich. Miss Pengrino, did I or did I not have a list of predictions for this film?
So, yes, and I knew you were probably not going to like this because you literally went in saying, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, this is going to happen, and it's going to be this person who does this.
Let me break it down.
Like,
Because like I said, I'm very, as you've probably realized, I'm very familiar with Roland Emmerich, and I'm very familiar with his schlocky films. And I said, this is what was going to happen. Natural or horrible disaster thing happens. It happens so bad that it looks like it's not going to be stopped. It gets stopped. And one of the characters is going to one of the main characters that we've grown to love through the whole film is going to sacrifice himself. All of these things came true. What was the fifth one? Wasn't there
that
another
you
one?
knew who was going to sacrifice
Oh, and I
himself.
knew who
Which
was going
we're
to
not going to
sacrifice
tell
them.
you that because
No.
that's a major spoiler. So,
No, but as soon as now that you have this implanted in your brain, if you've not seen this movie yet,
Yeah, you'll
now
know.
that you've had this idea implanted in your brain, you will know right off the bat
I mean, but, like,
who's going to kill,
he
who's going to
knew-
sacrifice themselves.
he knew like 5 minutes into the movie.
It was
like,
too easy.
Boom, 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 boom. This
It was too
good
easy.
night.
It was
Like,
too easy.
This is going to happen.
So, that's the thing, and that's the thing about Roland Emmerich, is he has one idea and he creates these elements around that same idea over and over, and he says, okay, movie.
Okay.
And then it goes out, and then he thinks it's going to be a huge success. He has not had the success that he's seen since Independence Day. Independence Day is his
So-
only huge success.
Okay, I understand.
And
that.
Making Contact. That movie is amazing. Go watch Making Contact.
I understand it's very predictable. I understand it's very like,
I don't think you do.
overdone. I get it.
No.
But I think overall it was very well.
Overall, you wore those in the last Let Me Tell You episode.
I did because I enjoy overalls. I think it was a very well done movie.
Huh?
Like it was filmed really well. Like it was put together really well. I mean,
There's a lot of digital crap. Of course. When you put digital stuff in there, sure.
look, for for someone who is not familiar with this dude's work, who does not watch a lot of the comedies movies.
Did you ever see Independence Day?
I was so young.
I was so young too. It was one of my favorite movies.
I've never watched it again.
When I was a kid.
I couldn't really watch stuff like that when I was a kid because I had nightmares.
Yeah, you were
So
odd.
I had night terrors, so I couldn't watch that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Like I've never watched Jurassic Park through and through.
Which kills me because now you want to talk about a good disaster movie. Boombaya.
I mean, I could probably watch it now as an adult. I couldn't as a child.
Well, brace yourself because there's a new one coming out this summer and we're going to go see it.
Well, we'll just have to watch the series.
Although the
before
Jurassic
going,
World
so.
movies have not been as good as the Jurassic Park movies, but that's another story for another
Well,
day.
Jeff Goldblum's not in them, so.
He's going to be in this one.
I saw that!
They're all coming together. It's going to be a thing. Continue.
You hate when I cut you off. Let me just finish my statement.
Okay.
Then you can take it away.
You're right.
Okay. For someone like me.
The moment's passed, Miss Pengrino. We got to move on. So you're.
Bitch, are you for real?
For someone like me who does not watch a lot of these movies, who is not very familiar with his work, overall, it's a good movie.
I mean,
Because, like, I couldn't predict it. I didn't know those things were going to happen.
right.
I thought it was a good invasion,
Well,
takeover, natural disaster kind of film because I don't watch a lot of those.
you see these can openers over here. They're all from Red Letter Media. And my point I was getting to is that these people have ruined me for life when it comes to movies because I know how to study movies because of them. I know how to understand movies a lot better. So, and then Roland Emmerich, I know what to expect.
So I
from a
sound
movie
like the dumb
this.
shit.
You're not dumb, no. Because you enjoyed the movie. I
did.
And that's the point I was getting ready to make was that it's okay to enjoy schlocky, fun, adventure, action movies. There is an element to them that makes it interesting. My problem with Roland Emmerich is that he is so predictable that you can point by point figure out exactly every beat he's going to hit with his movie. And like I said, he's been doing movies. I mean, since Making Contact, but Again, the reason why I like it so much is because it was an original idea. He made something that was interesting.
It really was.
Well,
Weird.
it was weird, and it was
really weird.
nothing like his other movies. Somewhere along the way, he went from being extremely creative to just kind of like falling prey to
he had that one good, so he just stuck with it.
But that was like very creative, that movie, and he went from being super creative to just falling prey to big blockbuster schlock. And since from Independence Day on, that's all it's been. He comes out every few years with a movie, and it's the same movie. It's just a different plot. Aliens invade this time. World's gonna end.
A lot of movies are the
one.
same movies.
No, but that's the point I'm trying to make is that, yeah, I mean, a lot of movies, that should be on a t-shirt. That's the point I'm trying to make. I make a lot of points. In this point, I'm trying to say that, yeah, action movies, a lot of movies like that are predictable. You can take the Marvel movies and it's the same formula, but with a different
But you still like those?
superhero. Those are different because those are made to be entertaining. They're consistently good. They found a formula that actually works for them. Roland Emmerich had that formula, but like I said, flew too close to the sun. And it's old now. It's not fun anymore.
So for people who haven't seen all his stuff, it's good. It's good to me.
I just,
I'm not going to say it's great.
No, it's not by any
By
stretch of
any
the imagination,
means.
But
but it was a good movie.
I mean, it was enjoyable. It holds your look. It's a movie that'll hold your attention right up to the very end. Another trait I forgot to mention was the stepdad dying. Spoiler. That's another trait that happens in this. So this is kind of a spoiler. In 2012, the movie 2012,
yeah,
and this one, the stepdad dies, and nobody seems to care. Nobody seems to care.
They cared for 10 minutes.
Little bit.
Little bit.
In 2012, they didn't give a flying frigadoodle in that film. They couldn't have cared less that the stepdad died. He was out. So I mean, that's another trait that he started a couple of years, or not a couple of years, but a couple movies back. And so it's just the same old thing, and it bothers me. But you mentioned, what about superhero movies? What about action movies? And I talked about the Marvel films. Speaking of which, I found a little article here on my handy dandy laptop that where Roland Emmerich was talking about superhero movies and why are they still around, which I thought was rich. It was dripping with irony, this article. He says that he had some comments in a recent interview. He called them boring. He called superhero movies boring. Okay. The man that does the same movie over and over calls superhero movies boring. I don't understand that. He said, well, it gets harder and harder. I'm really not very happy about that. How many superhero movies can you make? They're making like 7 or 8 Spider-Man films. It's just very boring for me as a filmmaker. That's a loose term. That we're throwing that term around real loosely. You don't want to keep making the I didn't see this part. He says, you don't want to keep making the same movies over and over. That is rich. Oh, that is so rich. Then that's dripping. That is dripping with irony that he would say that about superhero movies. I posted the link in the description so you can read all about it.
Did people make a comment about it?
No, nobody's really talking because it was an article. It was like an interview he did.
Yeah, but sometimes you can make comments on those.
Well, whatever. But the point is, it's like, I don't really care what they have to say. The point I'm trying to make, what I'm talking about in this episode, is that he makes the same movie over and over, and then he sits there and judges other action movies and superhero movies when he himself is guilty of the very same thing. It makes no sense. There's no little to no sense. It makes no sense. So it just
zip zero nada.
It just Roland Emmerich gets under my skin.
I see that.
Yeah, like again, Independence Day, fine film, weird concept.
I'm surprised with him getting under your skin that you were even wanting to go see this or willing to go see it.
It was because it was another, as we've mentioned many times on Get Real. My parents come to town and they like to take us out to movies.
Yeah.
I don't say no to a movie and a night out.
Don't say no to a movie.
Especially since I work from home a lot now, working mainly on stuff like this. I don't get out of the house very much, and so it's nice to get out of the house.
And we get dinner.
And we get dinner. And we don't get to eat out much either. So, that's fun. And that's again where you go to.
Part of it.
It's just you go to the movies to have fun. You watch a good movie. You watch a good movie. That's a fun term, but you watch a movie, and you just enjoy the evening. You watch a movie and you enjoy the evening together, and that's the end of that. You want to get into details. Roland Emmerich, no, he doesn't make a good movie. I'm sorry, he's not made a good movie in years. Independence Day was the height, and that's the end of it. And then he's calling Marvel schlock and done over and over. Check yourself before you wreck yourself, Mr. Emmerich. Okay, thank you. So on that note, Miss Pengrino, would you recommend Moonfall?
I would, for those who are not movie critics, or have not seen the rest of his
Was that
movies.
A shot at me?
Maybe. Or maybe who has not seen the rest of this guy's movies, because overall, just generically so, it is a good movie.
And I am in the opposite side of this corner. I would not go see. Again, if someone's inviting you to see it for free, because that's what my parents did, they paid for us. Go see it, hell yeah. But if you're gonna go pay money to see this movie, don't do that. Because you've seen Independence Day. If you've seen Day After Tomorrow or 2012 or any of those, you've seen this movie. It's just with different people and a different concept. That's it. But the idea is the same.
All done.
That's it. You've seen it. You're good. You don't have to see anymore. But I mean, it's a decent enough film. I didn't even mention how Patrick Wilson's in this movie. I love Patrick Wilson. He was in the Phantom of the Opera. He was in Aquaman, the Conjuring movies.
I do love him.
He's a great actor. He really is a great actor,
good.
and so he makes anything more interesting.
And I liked the little nerdy dude.
And the little nerdy dude, he was originally supposed to be Josh Gad, and you can kind of tell because he looks like Josh Gad.
Yeah.
Josh Gad dropped out.
Can't blame him.
No. and of course Halle Berry. Like, it was great to see her in the movie. But other than that, no thank you.
Just got the apology again, but I don't have it.